And
Ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our descent into No Bangers, episode 26. We'll be landing in about 2 minutes. Please make sure your seatbelts are fastened and your seat backs and tray tables are in the upright position. Thank you for flying with Dibdit Cards Airlines. We are approaching the landing strip here on No Bangers, episode 26. Local time is 12:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The temperature is hot as balls degrees. And
quick question: Are we on the Jurassic Park island with that hat?
how do you interrupt them during? You can't interrupt them during the.
This is my beach hat.
It's
ridiculous. How people are going to know who we are?
That is a good point. That is a good
point. Jeez.
Yeah, we're landed. We're here, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode number 26 of No Bangers Sports Card Podcast. I just landed the plane.
We crashed it because of Cary.
I can't question the pilot.
My co-pilots, Rod from Picking and Punching Cards, and our head stewardess, Cary from American Arbitrage Cards. And I am your pilot,
and cookies.
Tim from Over the Years Sports. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody had a great holiday weekend. Mine was pretty wild. I'm sorry if I sound like crap. It's because I feel like crap. I've been sick. I've been in the bed for the last 2 days with a massive flu.
I don't think you sound like Tim. Just let's break the ice here. You always sound like crap. So you got nothing really work. No.
Okay.
But Cary literally just crashed our plane. He was off to a great start there, and you just jumped in there, just took out the introduction, chopped him out of the legs, like nothing to stand on now.
If our plane was only in the air because of him speaking, we would have been. We weren't going to make it.
Touche.
Did you guys? So listen. First of all, this is the first time I've been to the beach with no hair, and I didn't realize I was supposed to put sunscreen in here. I got sunburnt all on the top of my head.
Oh, wait till it starts peeling. It's gonna be the worst, and you look like you have dandruff everywhere you go.
Well, I already have massive dandruff, so it shouldn't be a problem there. But yeah, it was not fun in that aspect of things. Then I didn't even get to see the fireworks. This is the craziest story in the world. It's all over TikTok if you guys want to watch it. So my wife and I would park our car, find an amazing parking space in a sea of thousands of people to watch fireworks, right? Literally right at the boardwalk, the entrance of the boardwalk on 8th Street in Ocean City, Maryland. Josie gets out the car. She gets the baby. She's putting the baby in the carrier. I'm pulling the stroller out of the trunk. I'm getting ready to pay for parking. I send Josie's dad and her cousin to go meet the rest of the family, and we're going to meet you guys there, right? And because we didn't want the little kids to miss the fireworks. All of a sudden, it's just a sea of thousands of people running for their lives. Like a mass shooting running for their lives. And what happened is this is scary as hell, right? Like, because this is what you see like on people's clips when things like this happen. I'm screaming at Josie to get the baby, get in the car. And like, everybody's running and nobody will tell me what they're running from, what happened, right? So like everybody's freaking out, panicking. There's a stampede on the boardwalk. I'm getting the family together and we're hitting Dodge out of there, right? So apparently what happened was somebody thought there was a shooting on the boardwalk during the fireworks. But what happened was some idiot fired fireworks into the crowd on the boardwalk. And they thought it was gunshots, and everybody started running for their lives. It created this mass hysteria. There's videos all over TikTok for it, but we didn't even get to see the fireworks.
That's like Florida, down in Sanford, Florida this weekend, because we had really bad rainstorms. They canceled the fireworks. But in the most Florida thing ever, lightning struck the fireworks and set up the fireworks early, went off to the crowd, everybody down here. So, yeah, if you can go online, you can see that one. But no one got hurt. No one got injured. Thank God on there, but that's the most Florida thing ever. That's, Florida man strikes again.
I'm trying to think. I didn't really even see. I was just hanging out with Dave, so we didn't go see any. But the best one I ever experienced was in Vegas. I think it was last year or the year before. We were up near the mountains, and there's this half a block away. There's this big park, and it oversaw the whole valley of Vegas. So we saw that one year. We saw maybe 7, 8 different shows at once, over the strip. It was pretty wild.
Dope. There was a card shop on the boardwalk. And I was pretty, I stopped in to go see see what they had. It's extremely overpriced. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
well, yeah, but like that's what I'm saying is like if you're on a boardwalk, right? Boardwalk stuff is expensive.
Yeah.
But like I would think that if you had a card shop, they sell like sneakers and they had massive amounts of wax. They had showcases full of singles and they had like some bargain boxes on top, Pokemon 2, all types of stuff. But it was just like it's a dope idea. Like I think you could do really good numbers if you had like a storefront for cards on a boardwalk like that. But like the cheapest card was $4.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are we doing here? Like
That's over your limit
rent,
right
bro.
there.
That's
You can't even bundle if the cheapest thing's $4.
yeah, it just was not. And I mean like it was a lot of expensive stuff too. Like that didn't make sense. Like $3 for a Jackson Holiday non-first paper Bowman card, like Julio Rodriguez flagship rookies for like $6, like stuff like that.
Andy Van Slyke Peachy rookie.
I mean like
that
that
right there.
that's
Maybe
not that
$7.
bad.
Yeah. Tim, you can't go on vacation or get sick again because you owe me $472 right now, my friend. Because, and you too, Cary, I'm going to send you guys both the bill.
You're talking. You're the guy who was just telling us before the podcast started that you bought a box of 2 boxes of cards. You didn't even know what they were called. You're just on the website just pressing buy.
Well,
you don't even know what you buy.
I need support from you two. I sent you guys a picture over the weekend. I'm like, hey, which box to open? Dead silence. I was like, okay, I sat here for 5 minutes.
I didn't answer any messages from anybody all weekend.
So then I was like, oh, you know what? I'll just open one box. And I didn't hit anything. I was like, oh, I'll just open another box. Next thing I know, I'm like $400 down, just cracking wax, and I blame you two. So I'll just send you guys the bill. All right?
What was your return on that?
I would have to go back and look.
Sadness.
The F1 series, the F1 cards did not do good. What else didn't do good?
But they were all retail, right? None of that was hobby.
No, the UFC was a hobby. It was a hobby.
Did you get any Nico?
That was
Hulkenberg? He won this weekend.
I did hit the redemption.
Win.
I don't know. I would have to go back and look and watch the footage and stuff. But then I did what else? I do Chrome basketball, which not a fan.
Topps Chrome basketball?
Yeah, just not.
It's disgusting.
It's
just awful. It's horrible.
Yeah,
no
not
person should ever buy that.
So I tell myself that every year. And last year I was like, I don't like this. But then it comes out again. I'm like, maybe this year will be better. It's just like that.
Not until they get a license.
Yeah, imagine the excitement of unlicensed basketball mixed with Zachary Richachet and Alexander Sarr, and that's that's the 2024-25 product. Or even if you hit one of their autos, you're slightly disappointed.
Do you remember, like, during COVID, it was, like, a big deal? Like, you used to be able to sell, like, second year. Like, it was, like, it had meaning to it.
Oh, yeah, the second year phase. We haven't – that just went away completely. Like, we got a second-year Prism Devin Booker, silver, PSA 9, $4,000.
Well, so – it's funny you guys brought that up because I was thinking about that the other night because I was going to rip open my Top Series 2 hobby box I have, and then I was looking at some of the rookies in there, and then they did short prints this year. They did the Christian Campbell, they did Cam Smith.
I pulled one for somebody in one of my breaks. And then
who's the other one? Cam Smith,
Matt Shaw.
There's only 3.
Yeah.
But I was like, why? I know back in the day they used to short print the rookies. Why don't they do that more often now? Like, I don't understand it.
I think it's a good idea.
People would lose their minds.
Why? Because the rookies cards were actually mean something they have for the last 80 years.
Yeah, I understand that, but then they're going to try and they're still not going to change the price for you.
They don't have to change the price. It makes it more valuable.
So what are you going to do? You want to pay $8,000 for a box of Prism basketball Prism football and maybe get one rookie card? Hell no. People would lose their minds.
If it's Topps baseball and it's short printed, like not ridiculously short printed. I remember back in the day, 97, 98 Ultra basketball was 1 in 4 packs, I believe, was a rookie.
Yeah.
And then you get like 1 gold rookie per box or something like that. I think 1 in 4 packs if you got a rookie. I think that could help a little bit with the value of the rookies.
Make it 1 in 2, 1 in 3 packs, just something. Like I want them to have more value.
Yeah, all I want. Look here. This is how you keep people excited. So the pack that you don't get the rookie, throw in 2, 3. I don't care. 10 more of the stars of the MLB per pack. I don't care. 20 of them.
Cary is not a fan.
I want more stars of the MLB.
I saw that.
In fact, if I could open up a whole box and get nothing but those, which I think is happening at some point in the near future.
Yeah.
I'd be a happy camper.
Was that a short where I saw you?
Yeah, I was like, no, it was a picture thing.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting piece of content you did. I meant to send you a message about that. I like how you did that. You did like the pictures.
I've been doing that a lot lately because Facebook and Instagram rewards that. But beyond, like, I used to love looking at those. I think wasn't even on Reddit. It was on Facebook or something back in the day. Or maybe it was Blowout Forums. It might have been Facebook. But I used to love going through like, people would take a picture of, like, the box, and then they would just show in the comments, like, what they got in the box. I used to love that. I mean, I do that with video now, but I kind of like the picture part, too. It's simpler.
So, Tim, you don't want short printed rookie cards?
It's not that I didn't say that I don't want it. I'm just saying that people would lose their minds.
Why? I think it'd be.
I just told you why.
No,
you think it would go up in value? Why would it go up in value? Just because
this is why. Because people are in the hobby are so fixated on EV that's what it would come down to.
Are we talking about the Pixar character?
You would never get close to your. You would never get close to your cost, your buy cost.
What if they Topps release the product the same way they do right now? They just limit the amount of rookies in each box. In return, would cause those rookies to have a higher value, but they still produce the same amount of product they have. Well, you can go buy Topps Series 1, Series 2 anywhere, any stores right now.
That's another thing. Speaking of EV, estimated value real quick. Why are people so obsessed with, like, thinking the only reason to open a product is to make... I mean, and I'm a flipper, and I open hoping to find great cards. I understand that. But, like, is that the job of a company at all? To give you, eBay value return on your boxes? Or is it just to produce cards, right?
No, it's just to produce cards. 1,000%. Yeah, I think that there is a fine line there, right? And I may sound like a douchebag here, but like
just now,
I just don't. I feel like if you're going to charge me, and a lot of this is not the company's
No, and I
fault.
want a good estimated value. I get it. I'm just.
No, I know that's what we all want, but it's like there comes a time when it's like, if I pay this much money for Prism football, right, and I'm getting Joe Thomas silver prisms and Tony Baselli autographs, and like it becomes a little ridiculous, right? Because like, especially when they're front loading the first off the line products, you know what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff.
Is there like some sort of, what is it like? Is there an impetus from them? Do they need to be getting better autographs in these products since they're charging so much? Like, should they really be going away from the Tony Basellis and stuff? Or, I mean, they're not. That's like a $15, $20 auto, give or take. He's a Hall of Famer. But, I mean, should they really be trying to stay away from those autographs? Or is that just making sure you get something out of these boxes?
Well, like, I don't need a Marv Levy red, white, and blue Prism card in my packs. I don't.
Those look great.
But if you're a Bills fan, maybe you do.
They do, yeah. They look great. But I don't. I got one pack, and it was Jim Harbaugh, Marv Levy, and Rex Ryan.
Dude,
like, what are we doing here?
I know. Imagine if it was 1996. You would also have been disappointed.
Like, those were short prints. That would be cool. But I don't need a 700 card checklist for Prism
till
football.
Kabooms start having Marv Levy and stuff. Wait till the downtowns have Jim Harbaugh.
Let's go back to what you just said there, Tim. You said that they don't have a responsibility. I think absolutely the card companies have a responsibility, because if you're going to start increasing the value or the price of these boxes, there has to be some type of return, or they're not going to sell. So, like, you have to give it some type of value. So there has to be a balance between the two.
But then people will say, like, what if the people that are buying the cards are just collectors? They're not resellers. They're not looking to sell their cards that they get out of the packs. They want to collect them.
Everybody is at one point in time in life going to be a reseller. If you die, you have a family emergency, you have something, you're investing money in an alternative asset. So yes, you can be a collector and still invest money in an alternative asset. Doesn't mean you're going to technically be a reseller to want value in those items.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. This is the other thing is, though, is that we as sellers owe it to ourselves to start treating the market differently.
As in what?
As in, like, okay, the Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year Silver Prism rookie card shouldn't be $2.
I agree.
Why are we selling that card for $2?
Because it's not short printed. Now, if that was a short printed rookie, then
you tried to solve the problem, Tim.
Tim.
I'm
upset about it.
I'm on the board with you guys. I'm just telling you why people would not be happy with it.
I would be happy with it. Because
You would be happy with it. Cary would be happy with it. I would be happy with it. But everybody else who's looking for downtowns and kabooms are going to be pissed off if they don't even get rookie cards.
yeah,
No.
but if I get rookie,
You're not
every
even
rookie card
talking about the real chase that everybody's after, the whammy. Everybody's looking for this ultra rare whammy insert, apparently.
What is that out of Donruss Soccer?
Donruss baseball, dude.
baseball.
Dude, if I pulled a whammy, I wouldn't be on this podcast. I'd be on a cruise right now.
I think you pull your whammy away too much already. So that's a story for another day, my friend. All right,
Exactly.
it's a story for another day. But no, let's go back to what we were saying, Tim. If that means that every card you pull out, every rookie card you pull out would have extra value. So instead of pulling out a rookie card or 2 rookie cards per pack, and now those cards are worth 50 cents a dollar. Each of those cards may be worth $5-10 a piece now. It just adds extra value to the box. You're getting less cards.
I understand.
No, I don't think you
I'm
do.
just letting you know what people would not be happy.
All right, let's ask the people. Let us know down in the comments down below. Would you guys be happy with just the regular amount of rookies you guys get now with the box prices that you're paying, or would you prefer short printed rookies that have extra value?
How about this? Are you short printing all the rookies?
Yes.
So now, like, if you do get a short print rookie, you're going to get Kamani Vidal instead of Drake May.
So
How are you going to feel
that
about
makes
that?
Drake May even better then, right?
Yeah.
And it gives
And
Kamani
Vidal-
Vidal some value, probably,
Yeah.
right? Like $3 or whatever. I don't
I'm
know.
not talking about like one per hobby box, and like kind of curious said, like maybe one every 2 packs, one every 3 packs.
That's what it is right now.
No, that's
No,
that's
it's
the
not.
question we should ask. Do you guys want to pay more on the boxes and get less stuff, or would you like to pay less on a box and get more value? That's a hot take. Do you want more for less or less for more?
Well, speaking of her hot take, all right, here we got to say this. July 16th, Dibdit Cards, guys. Well, 2 things on Dibdit Cards. One is go join Dibdit Cards. Once we hit 2,000 members, we're giving away a free box of Optic Football 2024. Literally, guys,
Retail
no
box.
commitment. All you have to do is 20 packs, retail box, have a chance to get that downtown. We are Tim, what's the, oh, he's on the phone. All right, he's calling a friend. Maybe he's going to ask some how many members we have on the Dibdit Cards right now. As he answers that call and talks to the people at Dibdit, we'll find out. But I think we're like 125 members away or something like that from hitting that. So if you guys want a chance to win that, also to July 16th.
We're at 1865 right now.
Yeah, if you
1865.
real quick, if you're wearing a hat like Tim's wearing, you're going to take calls in the middle of a podcast and not care. Okay, he's got business. He's
we're
got business to
135
take care of.
away.
Okay,
He has a dinosaur
135
island to
away.
save. I get it, Tim. Like
Exactly.
it's fine, man.
he's
Like
a
I get it.
professor of paleontology.
Yeah,
He loves dinos.
The eggs have cracked open. There's been a leak on the island. I get it, Tim. Also, July 16th, guys, 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. Gary V is coming to Dibdit Cards. We're doing a V Friends box break. So please come hang out with us.
Yeah.
Join now so you get the notification when Gary's there. He's going to be answering questions. We're going to be giving away a bunch of V Friends merchandise. And we're going to be starting a box break. That hobby box is $600. We're going to start the packs off at $1, guys. We're going to do a box
Nice.
break for those packs. So feel free, come hang out with us.
And then Cary and I are going to be live right after that for 2 hours. So that's where the
exactly.
real
Right.
party
It's gonna be
is.
fun.
That's-
Yeah, singles.
That's what the real party's at, guys. You guys need to do that. So speaking about joining a party, we got some members this week, my friends. So
Oh,
we won't have the
yes.
awkward moment. So I want to say thank you to
Love
the
it.
audience
Thank
for
you,
doing
guys.
that. If you guys do not know, we actually have 3 member levels. If you guys just want to support the channel, it is the bargain box level for $1.99. The value box is $4.99. You actually get the videos dropping a day early. So you can watch this video actually on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. And then the elite members, the I want to buy a case level. You guys remember the names of these members?
There is Dusty Box Treasures,
That's one of them. Okay, Cary.
There's
Wes Chamberlain.
Rusty
Yep.
Staub. Rusty Staub.
What's his stop? Okay.
Rusty
Alex Van
Staub.
Slyke.
So
Alex Van
Andy.
Slyke.
Andy's the guy actually. Andy Van Slyke. Vince Coleman. Thank you, man. You're first off, Vince. I want to say something. You're an underrated stolen base guy, but also for supporting the channel, we appreciate you.
Okay.
And
Remember-
Ginger Card Kingdom.
Yep. Oh no, Ginger King Cards, guys. By the way, great seller on. So is Dusty Box too. Both great sellers on Dibdit Cards. But
Yes.
go give Ginger King Cards a follow on YouTube. He needs to hit 50 subs so that
Pascual
he
Perez, thank you, Pascual Perez. Also,
Perez,
some of these people, we do want to be clear. Some of these people did not yet sign up for this. Some of the names
allegedly, these are all signed up members. All right, Steve Sachs, that was another one.
Oh, dude, shout out.
Yeah, shout out Steve Sachs and Todd. Was it Carty?
So Todd Van Peppel.
Todd Van Poppel?
Todd Van Poppel?
Todd Carty is the another one.
Todd Van Peppers?
We appreciate you guys.
Let's say his name correctly. Tom Carty is his name?
Tom Carte.
Carte. He's an actual person, and we're shouting you out. Thank you.
I mean, these are all actual people. Allegedly, all these people are members of memberships.
True. We're not getting metaphysical here. They've all
unless he's one of those AI robots we've been talking about the last couple of episodes. I don't know. This is just going right down the tubes already. So let's go talk about going down the tubes. Let's jump right into this one. Last week,
like one of the AI robots that you want, Rod. Okay.
Not that I want. Listen, I saw that video. I saw that movie on Netflix. All right, it's Megan Fox. I mean,
you saw that movie. You saw that movie in the late '90s on the Blurry channel. You know what I mean? You were just waiting for moments.
Dave Cash.
Dave what Cash, is that? Dude. Who's that from?
This is these are the what year is this? 1970 something.
Is that how the people in the 70s played Pogs with those big old things?
No, but you know what? These are unlicensed.
Oh, so unlicensed cards from the 70s.
Yeah, Mickey Lolik.
Mickey Lolik. Mickey Lolik. Look at that.
See, do they bother you with the hats being unlicensed like that?
Well, but it says the name of the team. It says New York Mets.
It says Philadelphia Phillies, and it has the MLB. And it has the MLB logo right there at the bottom too.
But then they can't show the logo on the hat. What?
That's weird. These are from they're Italy's sweet Italian ice.
Where'd you end up getting those at?
I've sold some of these before, some of the higher name ones like Hank Aaron.
Where do they go for?
They sell for good money. Here's a good one.
I can't see.
Oh yeah, Joe Morgan, man.
Joe Morgan.
Would you pick those up at a card show?
Not. I actually the first batch of these I got. Funny story. The ones that actually had the really valuable ones in it, I got from Cary.
Really?
The 127, the first 127 we all met up at. Somebody had gifted Cary an entire massive collection of cards, and he went through it, but he couldn't.
I couldn't handle it all. Yeah,
and so he was like, "Here, you want to look through these?" And I was like, "Sure." And inside there was this little tin box, and it had a whole bunch of these in there, and they sold for pretty good money.
So let's rub it in the Cary. How much do they all sell for? So we can all point and Cary.
Gary Templeton.
Gary Templeton.
Here's a nice
one.
one.
That they gave me a whole trunk full of. There was so much stuff in that collection. I had to.
Dave Parker.
We were halfway across the country, so we had to get rid of some of it too. Yeah, because not everybody wanted everything, and I couldn't fit it in my car.
Would you pay for the collection?
He gave it to me.
Oh, he just gave it to you?
Yeah, he just gave it to me. Yeah.
How about Bill Buckner? His mustache and his eyebrows.
The name's on the tip of my tongue, but I don't remember. It is, yeah.
It was someone we knew that gave it to you, or just a viewer?
He was a picker. He was a picker guy.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember his name offhand. It was 3 years ago.
Gotcha.
Cecil Cooper looks like a lost member of NWA. Bucky Dent.
Apparently, Tim can't hear my question to him, so I'll ask him a third time. How much do they go for? What do you sell these for?
I don't remember. Some of them went for $20 plus a piece.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If you grade them, they can sell for really good money.
Interesting.
They're called 1976 MSA disc cards. I think that's what they're called. But there's different levels to them. So some of them are they're bigger, like these ones that have the Italian Ice logo on the back, and then there's ones that are smaller that have no logo on the back.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Huh. Speaking about different levels, let's talk about the Caitlin Clark case. We had the countdown last week. I got a lot of questions. People reached out to me, want to know if I bought a case. And the answer is no. By the time I refreshed my computer, they were sold out $3,000.
Would you have bought one at $3,000 if it sat there for a minute or two?
Yes, I would have bought one for $3,000 because my thought process was, and someone did comment in the video about this, is you cannot hold on to one of these cases because people think they'll be CT scanned. But I wasn't going to hold on to it. I would have flipped it right away because they were selling on the secondary market for between $5,000 and $8,000. Right after the auction, so I would have flipped it.
Just
and
imagine.
made money.
Just imagine you get that Caitlin Clark with that awesome patch that she's never seen, never worn, never was in a game,
Ridiculous.
just a random piece of fabric, and that she autographed.
Isn't National Treasures and Flawless and all those things supposed to always be game worn? Isn't that
how did that happen? How over the years did it slowly become part of the thing that they weren't even game used or anything?
So first off, none of us buy National Treasure, Flawless, or any of that stuff. So
I'm pretty sure you're going to this year. By the way,
technically we don't know if it's supposed to be always like that, but I just assumed it was because you're paying such a premium for this product. That would be my thought process. That's
like one of my favorite things to do. Like, it doesn't happen much, but I like to find in the bargain boxes, like, like people who open National Treasures, but then they're like sad because they got like a Craig Nettles autograph. Like, those are fun to find in the bargain boxes because they're just such expensive boxes to get. Like,
you don't find it often.
Auto or something.
Yeah, I agree. But I
look for them. I'll say it that way. I do look. I don't find them.
There are some lower dollar ones though. There are some ones you get like I made a trade for somebody for that. One of my videos I picked up. Actually, Cary. Actually, I was with both you guys at the 120 or the 100-mile highway sale. But I picked up a jersey, not game use, a player issued Padres jersey and pants from 1990. On the when I was on the highway sale, and I ended up trading it to a viewer of the channel for a bunch of cards. But I actually got a National Treasure, like Bruce the Barber Beefcake autograph card, which I thought was going to be worth a lot more than what it was. It's only like a $10 card.
What's it, just like a piece of the scissors?
No, it's not a piece of scissors. The piece of the shirt. Oh, actually, I don't know, where is that? I should take a look at that one and actually see if it's. Hold on. Let's answer this question. You two talk.
Dude, that would be cool to get like a Hulk Hogan like ripped, shirt from one of his performances, one of his wrestling matches. Because I was definitely a Hulkamaniac for many, many years.
Yeah, until he turned out to be a lunatic racist.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about when I was a kid and I knew like nothing else other than he was just ripping his shirt off and beating people up. That's what I remember. That's fair.
What's Rod doing?
No. What?
Rod, what did you do? Where are you, Rod?
This is the Bruce Bar Beefcake, right? This is from the...
Who's that? British Bulldog Boof Boof Boof?
Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
What'd you just call it?
So I want to see if this is enclosed as authentic memorabilia. Is not from any specific event. The autograph is guaranteed. So even these ones too. This is not actually like match worn or any specific event.
Is that kind of like what you were trying to be when you were a wrestler, Rod? Like would you have been like a barber-based wrestler if you had hair or something?
I did have hair.
Do you still have like match worn like Speedos and stuff?
Yeah, I actually do. I actually have my my leather jacket I wore to the ring. I have my boots. I still have my like couple pairs of my tights and stuff like that I wore.
Does your wife ask you to wear those sometimes to bed?
No, if I'm going to go to bed with her, I'm not going to wear anything. Let's be honest. Jokes on her.
You should send some of that stuff in and get some cards made.
You gotta let the. I'm gonna not say anything. I was gonna go way too far. But
dude, we should get some no bangers game use stuff.
We should put player worn.
Here we go. Here's a piece of Cary's underwear.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Piece of Cary's used underwear from being at a card show for 8 hours. Digging through the bargain boxes. Get that card. Yeah, I'm sure the audience is gonna love that one. All right.
Hey, man. Hey, there's
well, that's like my jersey.
The only way we'll ever find out is if we try to sell it.
Yeah, my jersey fusion.
I guarantee you, Cary will be able to sell it for sure.
Yeah, dude. Bathwater, we got this.
Bathwater. Yeah, there we go. But no, that's like the biggest comment I get on I had the Mickey Mantle jersey fusion, but it's his pants from 1961. Every comment's like, oh, I bet you it's his crotch. Bet you they cut out from his crotch. You get stinky poop stained pants and stuff. Yeah, stuttering. Just stuttering over here. But all right, let's talk about your weekend here, my friends. How's Cary? Let's talk about you. Had a very interesting past week. You got a lot of hate online. You're the card shop #1 enemy right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so me and Rod went to Orlando Sports Cards. I'm throwing you under the bus on this too, even though you had nothing to do with it, other than you were there. No, we went to the card shop and basically,
we did a whole day. We went to the card
we
show
did a whole
first.
day. We went to the card show. We went to Layton, which I
Main
didn't
card
show because I didn't get a lot of footage there. Then we went to Orlando Card Shop, and basically, the premise of my video was that and this is how I worded it. You have to word stuff when you do YouTube in a way that gets people to click things. So I put like I was pushed to my limit at this card shop. I used "can I pay less" in the thumbnail, and he was looking at me, right? And basically all it was a guy that, basically a shop that wasn't going to go that much lower than what the sticker was. Nothing really wrong with that, but I kind of paid up too much on some stuff. And I did kind of hope to get a little bit better of a deal, but nobody has to give you a deal. It is what it is. And I wasn't.
Have you guys ever been to this shop before?
No.
I'd been to the shop one other time and found I was mostly in like the lower bargain boxes, like the dollar box. So it's a little bit different. But this is something I kind of learned from that whole experience is like I was throwing in $30, $40, $50 cards and some usually when I hand over $350 worth of stuff from bargain boxes, generally you're going to get a little bit of money off because people are just moving that stuff there. So that's just in general. Anyway, we got a whole thing with actually most people were like, "Oh, you pushed your limit, so you win some, lose some," which is probably the premise of the video. But a couple guys got in there with like diatribes, man, like 7 paragraphs about how they stand with the card shop when I said nothing negative about the card shop. And then just that they thought that I don't know. It was a whole thing, man. I called you, Rod, and it was like, dude, these people are, and it was really like 3 people who were very upset about it.
Well, a couple things. One is I want to bring this up for a reason because I thought it was a good discussion about when we go to card shops, what to expect and kind of the whole thought process there. But number 2, when you create a YouTube video, when we create content, we have to put context with it because it can be perceived any certain way. And I think that's, with your video, like I was there firsthand, so I saw everything firsthand. I was also watched your video. And a lot of people perceive like you pushing yourself was you really trying to move up to higher dollar cards to try to test the limit to see what you can do. You didn't have to sell those on auction. This is something you kind of left out of your video. You decided to sell those on auction to try to get a fast turnaround on those cards to see how they would do, compared to if you list them for a buy now, you would have made a profit in those cards. So that's one thing I think you left out of your video.
Paul Skeen's first Bowman paper at $15.
What? Oh, in that video?
Yeah, in that box.
Oh, okay, in that box.
Yeah, so I mean, it's there is, and that's the thing when you're making a video on the fly. There's always going to be kind of like certain aspects of it, details that you either forget to put in or just for the sake of time
or just assume
that people know. Because that was the whole thing too. Like maybe this is just something with doing content all the time. I assume, like we've talked about, that it's a lot of people who watch every one of my videos, so people know that I've been trying to push myself to do more $5 to like $200 cards. But you're right. There's a lot of people, like the guys who probably watched that video, that were upset that never have seen a video of mine, so they didn't understand that journey I've been on.
But didn't that guy, one of the comments say, the guy said something along the lines of, like the guy's cards are they're priced fair. Most of them are always priced below comps anyways. Isn't that what one of the comments said? I'm paraphrasing, obviously.
Did say that.
So, I mean, we're 5 minutes into your video. I see Paul Skeen's first Bowman paper. He has a $15 price tag on it. That's 50% over comps right now.
But, I mean, here's the thing. If you go to any card shop in America, they're not going to sit there and reprice the cards. This is why
exactly.
So, but here's the thing: is so some of the cards will be overpriced, some of those cards will be undervalued. That's every card shop in America.
No, and I definitely like at that shop definitely found some cards definitely way under what the comps were. So I was fine with, and this is the thing I always.
But I'm just more speaking towards what these people were coming at you for.
And that's the truth about every video, every shop, especially with bargain boxes, is there's going to be overpriced and underpriced, typically because people aren't updating their boxes every 3 weeks or 2 weeks or 1 week. Because it's hard to keep up with. It doesn't make any sense. So that's why you can find deals, or I guess theoretically could pay up for stuff because it was worth more 6 months ago than it is now. But I mean, there was a lot of good deals in there, and my whole thought is I go up willing, and I was pretty much part of it too. Is it was the third shop, second shop after the card show, so I was being a little bit more careful with my money. So I was being a little bit more picky. Most of the time I'm going up there and I'm willing to pay whatever the sticker is. And I might have paid the initial ask for everything, but I was trying to watch my money. So I put some stuff back and I was trying to get the best deal I could get because I was already in my mind like on a couple of the cards, like the Brock Bowers for 55 that I ended up running, and it did almost 55 on my auction. I'm like, I'm already kind of up where I may or may not make money on this based on how I'm selling it, so I've got to be careful. So I was trying to, make a little bit of my money back by negotiating, and that's what you do. And there wasn't much negotiation at that shop, and there's nothing wrong with that. I was just saying I pushed my limits. I didn't get as good of a deal. Like, I probably shouldn't have bought all that stuff at the higher prices is what I should have done.
So, I mean, the price overall, I don't think his prices were bad. I mean, I got some good deals and stuff like that, and they were willing to work. But my question to you guys go to a lot of card shops. So for the viewers out there that may not go to card shops, because certain areas aren't a lot of card shops, when you start going to card shops, what is your thought process in going to a card shop? Is it that when I walk in a card shop, I assume if I put a bundle together, I should get a discount on that bundle? Is it do you go up and ask them, hey, if I get a bunch of cards together, would you guys give a discount? Or when you go up and give them the stack, you just assume that you're willing to pay that amount, you get a discount, great. Like, what's your thought
Never
process?
am I ever going to put together a pile of cards and then either assume that I'm going to get a deal or assume that I'm ready to pay sticker price. I am in no way ever ready to pay full sticker price. Unless I'm buying one card at like $3, I'm not going to be like, hey, would you take $2 for this? Like, at that point, it's obviously not a $3 card if I'm paying $3 for it, right? So, like, I'm never going to assume that somebody's going to give me a deal, and I'm also never going to plan on paying full sticker price. And I mean, that might make me an asshole, but hey, listen, that's just, I'm being straight honest with you. Like, that's just the type of maneuvering that I do when it comes to card shops.
And
you have to ask. If you've never been to the card shop before, you have to ask. You have to be like, hey,
and you do this all the time, Tim. You always ask, like, hey, if I put some cards together, can I get a deal? And maybe that's where I messed up. There was also some confusion at that shop, too, with the boxes on the sidewall were 50% off. And then some of the boxes seem to have been mixed up in both spots because people put them back. And we didn't know which boxes were 50% off. And then we got kind of like, we got answers for that, but we were still confused. And I left part of that in the video, which I probably could have left more in. So I also kind of wasn't sure if I was getting a bit, it was kind of hard to tell what the deals were. And I should have just asked, hey, are you willing if I give you a stack of cards up front, at the very start to give me a little bit of a discount? And then they could said, the sticker's the sticker, or not much, or maybe a little bit, or not at all, or a ton, who knows?
No, going back to what Tim just said, though, Tim said that he's always looking to, try to negotiate deals. But there's certain car shops in America, like Leighton Sports in Orlando. You also have like Cards HQ. They flatly say, hey, we don't negotiate here, so that the sticker price.
I don't want to shop at your store then.
Okay.
But I found deals at both places. I've been to both those shops. And the thing that I would prefer, negotiations, sure, but the thing about their shop is that it's very clear, at least after that first visit, that's how they do it. So
you're telling me that if I go to Cards HQ and I buy $100 cards, they're going to charge me $100?
Yeah,
they might. Actually, I think, to be fair, I went there and gave them. I went there once, and I think I might have got a discount on the dollar cards. I don't remember, but like I also threw in like an $80 Jalen Noel to 5 auto. I don't remember what happened there. I'd have to look at my footage. So maybe they negotiate. I don't know on that.
So like that to me is like, I've never been to a card shop where they don't have deals on cards.
Doesn't mean they don't have deals. They're just not willing to negotiate. So, for example, like once they price the card, that's their price. They put it at, and that you can still get that card undervalued. You can still find great deals there. But like that's like going to any other store in America. Like if I go to a video game store, I don't expect them to.
But
like,
no. You can't do that with this. You
Why?
Can't compare video game stores to card
Why not?
stores.
Because they both fluctuate just the same in the marketplace.
No.
You don't do video games. Absolutely, they do.
Well,
maybe not as much, but I'm
it's
just
not like
saying
I'm gonna go to the Safeway and be like, hey buddy, I got 6 apples here, $12 sticker price. Can I get the 6 apples for $8? I'm not saying I haven't tried that before in my life, but I'm just saying like it's a different thing than what we're talking about card shops. And most card shops, right? Also,
I agree with you.
They literally have like discounted. They have like deals posted. So, like, if you buy 10 $3 cards, you get 2 free, right?
But is this
That's the normal practice.
Is this the
That's just any
corporatization?
shop
Is
in
this the
America.
corporatization of some of these card shops as time goes on? Because historically, it's mom and pop shops. They're working with you and giving you deals. But places like Cards HQ, Leighton, like there's SKUs. They're like starting to become like, and some of them want to become like Card Vault by Tom Brady and just get hundreds of locations all across the U.S. As things become more corporate, are they going to want to implement more of those, classical rules for retail, which is the price unless we say it's 10% off today or something like that?
So
yeah, because I'm not.
Is that what they're wanting? Right? Isn't that what they're wanting?
I'm not gonna sit there and comp all your cards for you, right? So like, if you don't want to negotiate a deal with me and I don't want to comp cards with you, then you got to give me some sort of discount, right? Because I don't want to have to do your job because you have this card. Like that's like seeing a Wander Franco rookie card for $7 sticker in your box. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? You're not negotiating prices. Like, obviously, that card is a zero value right now.
Little context, Cards HQ, which I did hear them say multiple times, if the card has dramatically went down and they show them on there, they'll adjust the price on there or something like that. So that is some of the shops will do that. Like if there's a massive like drop off in price, but I think to answer your question, I think they kind of have to run their business like that because if they're buying so much inventory for those shops, they have to make sure that card's at a certain price point to put it up where they're making a profit. So that might be their bottom line.
But what are they buying their cards at?
I mean, I'm sure they're buying their cards at 80%, 70%, 80% of value.
Not for value box cards.
No, that comes in the probably a bulk and stuff like that.
Exactly.
But I'm just saying,
so then why are you being a stickler with your 1, 3, 5, 10 prices?
Who said they
if
weren't?
You're getting them. You just told me that they don't negotiate.
They don't negotiate their cards. That's what I'm saying. There's certain shops just don't negotiate any of their cards. Like once they're
to me that's asinine. I've never seen that before. I've never been to a card shop before that doesn't negotiate their card shop.
I've been a bunch actually card shops that now when it came to like they'll give you a bundle deal, maybe like the dollar cards stuff that, but like anything in their showcase, like I've been to card shops where they don't negotiate. Like that's the price of the price. Like I've been to mom and pop shops that have done that. Like,
well, I mean, I'm not buying cases and showcases, so I don't.
What are these showcases?
I don't know what that but like most places are. Because, like, I understand to a certain extent. Don't get me wrong. Like, because I'm the same way sometimes where it's like somebody sent me a $6 offer this morning on a Hayden Alvarez patch autograph card to 7. And it's listed for $30. I'm just like, I declined it, right? I didn't even take the time to counter. Then they sent me an offer for $10 and I declined it. And I was like, I sent somebody an offer at $20 maybe last week, so I'll do $20. Then he sends me a message. He's like, if I send you a $15 offer, are you going to accept it? And I was like, no. And then he bought it for $20, right? So, like, I understand having a line in the sand when it comes to pricing on certain stuff. But if I'm coming to your shop, especially if I'm coming to your shop, and I don't want this to come out the wrong way because obviously, like,
this is going to come out the wrong way.
Oh man,
the fact that you warn us, it's not going to come out the wrong way.
Get ready to torch Tim in the comments.
Especially if I'm coming to your shop and I'm filming, and I'm going to promote your shop, and I'm going to promote your shop, and you want me to pay full sticker price
line right here
on a stack of cards? Get out of my face with that. I don't want
special treatment, but I understand what you're saying there.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't want special treatment, but like,
I don't either.
It's and that's why I said I don't want it to come off the wrong way because that's obviously not what I want. But like, my goal is to help you. My goal is to help you, but you know what I'm saying?
No, your goal is you're not going there to help them. You're going there to buy cards to help yourself.
Yeah, that is honestly the 100% truth. Is we are going to find the best deal we can so that we can do what we love because we all love doing this, like flip cards, sell cards, whatever way we do it, and make a living doing it. That's what we want. And then obviously it could be mutually. I mean, I don't know. I go all over the U.S. to card shops in the last couple of years. I've been, I got places I hit up.
Okay, let me ask you this, Cary.
Kansas City, I'm pretty sure I've gotten some sort of deal everywhere. And
everywhere you've
even
been.
In this video, he gave me $10 off, he said. So, I mean, he said that's
off.
what he said.
But still, it's
I didn't count it. I believe
deal.
him. I'm not saying I don't believe him, but I got a little discount.
But here's the thing, Tim. Like, just because you come to, if I had a store and just you come to your store and you're filming, Maybe I don't want you filming it. Maybe I don't care if you're filming my store.
That's
Promote my
fine.
store.
That's
You know
fine.
what I'm
Just
saying?
take that out of the equation.
Just say you don't want us to film when that happens, so we can turn off our camera. We won't
but
film.
if I bring you a 200 card stack, and you sit there and you count all the price tag on all those cards, and then that's the total, never in my life has that happened.
You know what? It happened to me one time on a sports card show, and I'll give this guy slack because he did tell me it was his first time stamping a card show. So, and I put together a stack. I think my stack came out to like, I'm gonna say it wasn't much. It was like $36 or $42, and he's like, and I think he was like, I think my stack came out at $42. He's like, it was like 42. He's like, oh, how much is it? He's like 42. I was like, well, what was the sticker on it? He goes 42. He's like, oh, you can have it for 40. I was like, oh, okay, thank you. But like, I wasn't assuming I was gonna get a discount from it, but like. But I can understand that how people just react to that sometimes. I don't know.
I want to be clear. I'm also not assuming I'm going to get a discount. I'm just from experience. It happens a lot, especially at a shop when you give a stack of cards like that. It just happens quite a bit because there's a lot of cards at this level. And you could typically get deals. So
to me, the reason why I got fired,
I overpaid for cards. I overpaid for cards, and that's kind of how at least in my opinion, I overpaid for some cards, and that's what I talked about. I pushed myself to my limit, and I probably should have not bought some of the cards.
The reason why I got fired up is because if we're going to small card shops all across America, and that's the standard way of practice. And then I go to a Leighton or I go to a Cards HQ, and that's not the standard of practice, that's a problem. That's a disconnect in the hobby.
I have gotten discounts at Leighton too. I asked, but they typically don't do it at Leighton, so it can happen.
So to me, that's the disconnect. That's it. Like, why is it that we can go to card shops across America, and there's mom and pop shops and these small shops, the true LCSs, okay? Let's make that clear. Not even just
local
mom and
card
pops,
shops,
but true LCSs, and that's the standard practice of the hobby. You go to card shops across the card shows across the country, and at 95% of the tables, that's the standard way
card
of
shows
practice.
And card shops are totally different
Okay,
things, though.
but listen to what I'm saying. That's the standard way that is practiced across all of those different ways. But then you have two. Obviously, I don't want to call these shops out. It's not my point here. But these bigger shops that are buying at a way less price margin than all these other shops and all these other vendors at card shows, they can't give you the discount on the bulk deals.
Wait, hold on.
That's
How
weird.
do you know what they're buying at, first off?
Because I know because I've seen them buy before in person.
Okay.
I've been next to the guy before when he's bought.
Okay.
You know, in bulk, $4 boxes or for his whatnot shows or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I know what they're buying their cars for.
Listen, I haven't been to Shop what is it, Shop HQ? I haven't been up there. Cards HQ. I haven't been up there.
He doesn't know the shop names or the products he's buying,
but
he will slap that credit card down and pay.
But I've been to Leighton
without negotiating.
Listen,
no negotiating.
Full
like price.
Leighton.
Ask more when Rod comes to your table.
You guys done? All right. So now I was going back to saying, like,
I had to convince you not to buy a collection of wild card and $3 cards for like $1,400. You were on the fence about that.
But that was fun. That was a good thing.
That was fun. That was a good video.
Ozzie Guillen.
Ozzie Guillen? Oh my gosh. Let me think of Michael Jordan with the Birmingham Barons. He's a baseball player too, folks.
Look, this is I just wanted to give you guys. We're going to
Ray Durham.
We're going to take a brief pause here so everybody can collect themselves. Okay.
Do we think people?
Wait. We mean everybody. Me and you. You're
this
all fired up over there.
This pause is brought to you by www.dibditcards.com in association with Coca-Cola and Hardee's. This is the official
and because we're all men in our 40s, Blue Chew.
This is the official No Bangers starting lineup baseball, okay? We got Kelly Gruber, Ozzie Guillen, Devin White, Roger Clemens, Sandy Alomar Jr., Rafael Palmeiro, Roberto Alomar, Dave Henderson, Chuck Knobloch, Paul Molitor, Robin Yount, one of our favorites here.
Did
Chili
Rob
Davis.
Deere get one? Did Rob Deere get a starting lineup?
Tom Glavine, Hal Morris, Ozzie Smith,
Reds legend.
Benito Santiago.
Benny Santiago. I love that.
Delino DeShields, Matt D. Williams, Andy Van Slyke, Andre Dawson, Terry Pendleton, Jeff Bagwell, Brett Butler, and our very favorite, Ron Gant.
I just want to clarify that this is why Tim needs a discount. So instead of working and listing items online, creating video content, everything else, he's sitting there researching lists that make no sense for this stupid podcast.
Do you think he's just in his... Tim, are you in your room sometime just like mumbling under your breath, just like names of random players?
All the time.
Just,
everywhere I go.
I think he says in his sleep. Like, I expect to be at the National and just him sleeping in the bed next to me, just like saying random names throughout the whole process.
Like you know how many times I'm going through a bargain box and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't heard this name in 20 years. And
Otis
I'm like
Amos,
talking to the guy next
Ron
to me,
Washington.
And they're like looking at me like, what is this guy? Why is he talking to me about?
Or is it Amos Otis? I get him mixed up. I don't know.
Oh.
All right. Next question for you guys. So, Score 2025 football just dropped. Now, they did something big this year where we talked about rookies earlier and stuff like that. What they're doing is they actually implemented the NIL players. So you get some of the top prospects in college football right now. We're talking like Arch Manning. You get the quarterback with Underwood from Michigan. You can get, I forget who else is in there. There's a couple other ones.
Like Keelan Russell or something. I forgot them all.
But what is your take on this? Do you think it's going to dilute the college product now? Or do you think it's a good thing that they're implementing, the college players in the pro product?
I think it's a great idea. I think it works really well with Score because the players are already in their college uniforms, like the rookies.
Okay.
So I think it kind of fits a little more seamless than in other products. I think Score being the first official, typically like mainstream product of the year, historically. I don't know what it's going to... And maybe, are they getting used to the fact... Because they're not going to have the football license next year. Are they trying to slowly lean into being a Bowman U type product in the future where they're doing mostly college guys? Is this their way of kind of, slowly getting people used to that?
Don't they do that, though, with their draft picks box, pretty much?
Well, that wasn't the case until recently.
Okay.
Last year was the first year they implemented college players into Prism draft picks.
Yeah. What about you, Tim? I mean, what are your thoughts on this? Do you like it? Not like it? Why?
I mean, I don't really care at this point. Like, I was one of those guys who got bit by the COVID bug and was buying massive amounts of Score because it was what was available, and then you realize that like Score is one of those products where it's like you can get. When you buy it right in the day it drops, the week it drops, and then sell everything within the first week. Because unfortunately, the hobby snobs that are out there, they don't want to pay money for pro athletes' rookie cards in their college uniforms.
But Score can be, because of the snobbery a little bit, Score can be something that you can find in bargain boxes, 6 months from now, 4 months from now, of players who are good or players who are performing well, and you can get some deals and hopefully find that margin where you got a good enough deal and you can sell it to somebody who believes in that player or whatever. So that is a card that you can find, a Score auto, for example, especially like the numbered ones in the bargain boxes down the road.
Well, I think one is I like this. I'm not a big fan of Score product, but one is Score's traditionally has been around for many, many years. Number two, it's the first release of a lot of the rookies. So, yes, I think it's good because you may find some of the bargain boxes this week when you're out looking because the product pretty much has gone out. People are ripping it, pulling the autos. And it's a good chance to get some of the brand new rookies.
I saw some of the autos at the Orlando. What card show did I go through?
The Ultimate Bangers.
Yeah, Ultimate Bangers. Yeah,
which you're not allowed to go, being part of the No Banger Sports Card Pass.
I know. I feel out of place. Please. I feel very, very out of place. I feel like you, Rod, like just living a lie out there. But I saw some Score. I mean, I was tempted. There were some Score autos in there, like $25, $35 range of not like the top guys, but guys that we know. And I could, like Kyle Williams was 25 for the 49ers, and he's not a bad prospect, like a third rounder, I think, but I couldn't get myself because that if it is worth that right now, it's going to be not worth that very soon.
It'll be worth $3 when we get to
I mean, I will, when we're at the National, I probably will pick up a handful of Score autos from this year, and I probably won't pay that much, and we'll see how I do, but I mean, I wanted to, man, because I definitely do believe in that first couple week hype that there is out there, and that guy's trying to cash in.
Well, how important is it?
And I don't blame him.
I mean, how important is it for us to find those right now with that's the very first football product release, It's right before the National. You're going to get a lot of hype for football over the next couple of weeks because we do the National and then it's rolling right into training camp. So, I mean, do you think Score is a good play right now to pick it up, or do you think it's not? Or is it just the timing when you pick it up?
All depends on pricing.
Yeah.
I'm picking up. If I find Score football autos of almost anybody for $1 or $2 right now, I'm probably picking them all up. I don't care who the player.
Okay.
I would buy like
now.
I would buy like Jackson Dart.
Genty.
I buy Genty. I buy Hunter at $1 a piece.
At $1 a piece,
Base
Shador
right
Sanders.
Shador Sanders right now.
Who's quarterback for New Orleans? What's his name?
Tyler Skew. Shug.
Shug. Is it Shug?
I'm still flabbergasted off of that. No, I'm not buying him because I'm pumping and dumping Spencer Rattler.
Do you think?
Okay, Jeff. No, sorry. Allegedly.
Who do you think's going to start for the Saints, though? You think it's going to be Tyler, or you think it's going to be Spencer?
No, I think it'll be Spencer Rattler.
I think that they're for a rough year, man. They may be the worst team in football this year.
They really need Drew Brees to come back out of retirement, or maybe they can get Jim Zorn. What's he up to?
Jim Zorn,
like 65.
Wait, bring back Arch Manning. I mean, let's bring him in.
Yeah, let's get. You want Arch Manning? You're getting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else on the list? Because I want to ask a question.
We do, but you can ask your question. I mean, you're allowed to ask a question. It's a podcast, my friend. It's an open forum.
Yeah,
okay.
Open forum.
So you guys know how I am been and how I do with prospecting, right? Like not just baseball, but all athletes, because that's what I do
you only
good.
buy them if you get a discount. If not, you're not shopping there. Get it?
Yeah, exactly. We understand your game.
We understand your process, my friend.
No, and you remember last show I told you guys Colson Montgomery was going to be the next guy to get called up, and he got called up, and he's doing pretty well right now. He's had a couple of multi-hit games.
We get it, Stradamus. We understand your power.
So I'm really.
Is this a question, or are you going to just stroke your ego here? Like, what is going on?
So, like, I made millions of dollars flipping low-end prospects for top dollar due to my Patreon-only method. If you guys follow
I made $12
Over the Year Sports on Patreon, you get all...
$12.11 are going to bargain bots because I demanded my discounts, and I was able to buy these players and sell them. All right, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Okay, so I'm really contemplating getting in the Comc game.
Okay.
Yeah, I've thought about it.
Because, I just don't know enough about it. So I can just buy cards on Comc.
Yes.
And just keep them there.
You can do two things on Comc. Like you could buy the card and then not relist it with a price. So if you just want to wait, right? Or you could just put it at the price you want or the market price. There's a lot of things you can do on Comc, like without ever having to send any cards in.
So my question here to you is, do they charge you like a vaulting fee, kind of like eBay does?
I think it's kind of like Amazon FBA. I believe it's I don't know. I'd have to look at.
It can't be
much. It's not a ton, but I mean, if you have 10,000 cards, you might notice it. But I mean, you could also do like port sales. Like say you want to like move on from what the little collection you have right now. You could do a port sale, like a portfolio sale. Sell all your stuff out, and then start over. There's like a lot of you could send stuff to auction. I know Gaby's been doing it a lot lately.
I think he's been doing live auction. So I asked him the question. I asked him about that today, actually. Does that mean that he's buying his cards on Comc or either that or sending them in?
Yeah, both.
And then there's a button that you click that allows Comc to sell your cards live on eBay
or more. A card to do that. It might even be more than $1.
And it's a live that's them live selling it on eBay.
Yeah. I think it's live on eBay. Yes, it's Comc on eBay, I believe.
But so a lot of times when I see the Comc stuff on eBay, they're listed. Is it cross-listed? Are they like integrated with each other where you can bid on either site?
Yes, that's a great point. Yeah, on Comc, all of your, I think you can choose though, but all of your buy it now stuff can be on eBay.
Yeah, it's like so they cross-list it, if I'm not mistaken.
Then you could also push it to a classical, 7-day auction, which we should talk about the new eBay rules. I don't know if we.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. It's on the list. Yeah,
you can push it to a classical eBay auction, or you can, and I don't know if the pricing's different. You can push it to a live eBay auction, where you can, make the sale happen, whether it's successful or not. Who knows, depending on how you did. But you could definitely go in there and like buy cards. Wait for the right moment, like buy some stuff in the off season, right when football ends, and then wait to, throw it up on live auction and
Because I mean, like, think about all the people that were making money on Cal Raleigh. Like, when he was maybe at like 15 home runs, and they're like, "Oh, this might be a play. I can buy like Cal Raleigh base chrome rookie cards for like 25 cents on Comc," and now they're probably selling for like $5 to $10 per card. Like for me, like I just feel like that I could just lay in my bed and just buy a bunch of stuff on Comc that I think is going to go up within the next 2 weeks, and then just unload it all. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
People do that, yeah.
I mean, I think it'll be good for you because you do prospect. I think you should dabble on it. Well, why not? I mean, just another thing. You don't have to worry about having the items shipped back to you, relist them, shipping them back out. So you eliminate that whole process. We just click one button to list it or hold it. I think it's a good idea. What made you think about this though? I'm curious because it's funny.
I've been seeing a lot of people on Twitter showing their flips on Comc, and then I just was like, damn, like I could just be virtual bargain boxing in my bed, like when I'm sick and I have a 102-degree fever.
No, that's a good point. I mean, if you did that, well, that brings me to one of the things I want to talk about here. Like over the weekend, I bought a collection. Over the last week, I bought a $10,000 collection. You guys will see a video on Friday dropping that one. But I mean, that's the process I have right now. Like I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because I bought, I comped out all the slabs and stuff like that. It was between like $4 and $5 grand just for those. And then everything else, the boxes, like mixed boxes, stuff like that. But there's 255 boxes I got. So I was thinking to myself,
have you been through all the boxes already?
No, I haven't even started, man. I just literally,
How do you live your
What
life?
kind of card bro spends that kind of money and then just like, I'll just let them sit?
Let me rephrase that.
I would have been through those 3 times by now.
All the high end stuff I have gone through. I've taken photos. I've listed it. I've listed almost $5,000 worth of cards already in my lot. So anytime you buy a collection, you got to start with the highest stuff first because you want to try to get that up as soon as possible so you can try to recoup your money.
No, you're doing it wrong. You get lost in the boxes of 1993 Donruss baseball, and you remember, oh yeah, Tim Salmon was a big time rookie in 1993, and he might be the best fish-based, angel of all time. Better than Trout, possibly. It's possible, not likely.
Yeah, it's close. I mean, it's up for discussion.
There's
no comments down below.
Who's the best fish-based baseball?
But see, this is my thing:
Steve
is
Trout,
that
Mike Trout?
What do you think about? What if there's a card that's a high-end card that he didn't know was a high-end card is in those other boxes?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to go through all of them, but it's
obviously I know you're going to go through all
of them. But you have to. But here's the thing: like if you buy a massive collection like this, it's so much time just to process and go through every single box right off the bat. He had them somewhat organized where he had all the high end graded stuff to one end. He did have a box, like a 3,000 count box with like top loading cards, like stuff that was like high end rookies, autos, stuff like that. And then the other boxes were like those like 800 count boxes, but it will say like Bowman on there. So like I grabbed the Bowman baseball, right? That's when I pulled out Jacob. I sent the photos of that. I went through, I pulled all of his, I sold off all his cards already because his stuff was super hot. So like a couple of the boxes were labeled, which helps out tremendously when you buy a collection. But the thing is, like each one of those like 800 count boxes, there's 255 of them. About 50 of them were like junk wax and just junk stuff. So let's just say I have 200 boxes to go through. Like I can literally go through and pull out a stack of, like maybe there'll be 600 cards and there'll be a stack of 50 top loaders in there or sleeve cards. So like, yes, there's going to be a ton of stuff I'm going to miss and didn't sell at the proper point. But the same point in time is like when you buy a big collection, you got to try to recoup that money as soon as possible.
I understand that.
You could go through those boxes a lot faster if you weren't on Panini.com and Topps.com just buying additional boxes and cases. You could be going through these cards and what is it called? Making money off of your purchases.
It's called that's how you build a brand, my friend, right?
It's a foreign thing for you.
Yeah,
but
I'm sorry.
See, I personally, I would have went through all the boxes the day I got home.
There's no possible way you could.
Yeah, no, I would have texted Tim at 3:30 in the morning. He would have been there with the baby, just been like, "We're both going. Me and Camden are going through the boxes right now."
It's funny. First thing I called both you guys. I'm like, I wish you were here right now. That's my first thing I said to both you guys. I was like, dude, Tim, this is all baseball. You'd have been in heaven. And then like here, I'm like, bro, there's a ton of bargain boxes, but like, yes, there's a lot of stuff to go through. But I also have to as I'm going through I'm not trying to go through all the boxes and waste time going through the boxes multiple times. I'm gonna go through a box, put for my whatnot or Dibdit card auctions, and then put aside for like eBay or Comc or something else. So I also have to separate too as I go through. So like there's a lot of processing that goes with these collections. So my question to you though is, the reason I brought that up here is, if you were going to start selling on Comc or these other platforms, and I know like Cary, you even sent cards into was it DC Cards?
DC Sports.
Yeah, DC Sports. Would you be open to buying bigger collections then, or getting out of your comfort zone if that's a case? If you were going to start, using these other
what
tools?
I love, it's a simple thing. Like one of the things I love about like the I'm probably gonna and let me know some of them down below. I've heard of a lot of them, but I want to do some more of this consignment, auction stuff because of this one thing that got me thinking. Like we're gonna be going to National for for a week, and then possibly picking after, so I'm gonna be gone for like a week and a half, 2 weeks without, I may do some live shows on the road, but having stuff at like a DC Sports, especially if I plan, I could have several big cards, ending while I'm gone and making money without having to do any of the back end work. Just basically put the cards in the box. I put the cards in the box, put my username, and that's it. It just gets us, into my account, and then it's simple. It's really easy. So it's something I've enjoyed. I like the idea, and Comc is the same kind of idea, not having to deal with any of the back end. You could, and there are people with Comc that send in 5,000 count boxes, 10. They're just sending massive amounts of cards in, and you could buy totally different when you're not doing all of the hard work yourself.
That's interesting. That's a very interesting concept, because Tim, you're traveling. You're going to be going to the National. You're going to be going to some highway sales, the other stuff. I mean, is this more appealing to you now, knowing that you can try to make money in the backside while you're out working and getting some other stuff done?
Well, yeah. I mean, you know me. I'm always trying to find other ways to, add income and everything like that. So, I don't know. It's just it's just a matter of for me too. It's just interesting because I'm like looking at my cards right now. I'm just like, I have so many cards of guys that are just like on the cusp, and do I really want to sell too early for like $3 a card, or do I want to wait and sell for $10 a card? You know what I'm saying? So like it gets a little tricky when it comes to baseball sometimes.
It is, but sometimes like if you have 5 of one card, like maybe put some up for 3, because ultimately as long as you paid well. Because some of those guys never become $10 cards. That's the thing. And for every person who I feel that's in heavy prospecting, and I've talked about this before, they'll tell you about their, Jacob Mizorowski's, which, I mean, you knew about, like a lot of guys know about, but there's like always, Aquino, there's guys that, or guys, not even those guys who actually did have a moment, but there's guys who never have their moment, that you may believe in.
Yeah, like a Christian
Vaquero.
And
you might lose all your investment almost in those. So it's almost better. I don't know. There's 1,000 ways to do it, and you guys got to figure out what's best for you. But I don't think it would hurt you to always have a couple cards up, as long as it's at a profit for you at any given time. And if you're selling them fast, then you can go, okay, maybe these need to go up a few more dollars because he's starting to heat up. Or maybe you can go, okay, these are selling fast. I'll wait a couple months. Maybe it's tough because for every time you're right, you're probably, even as educated as you are, like for every time you're right, you're probably wrong once too. So it's
twice.
Weighing it out, or probably twice. So that it's tricky, but that's part of the fun of it.
Yeah. Well, Cary, I know you got rid of a lot of your cards when you moved from Vegas to Florida, so you're kind of building up your inventory. Tim, I mean, I've seen pictures of your, shop my store, your virtual shows that you do, and you have just tens of 20 boxes just lined up on the table, and all organized, ready to go through. Have either of you two ever thought about setting up your local card show, just trying to move some product?
So my buddy, I have 2 people right now who will give me a spot without questions asked to sell at their card shows. So I'm, man, you know what?
I mean, it's huge for content. It's huge for content. Like I see my buddy, like in Vegas, who's really starting to blow up, Talon, who's had a pretty big channel for a while, but he's been doing a lot of he didn't used to do the POV dealer stuff, but I don't know.
What just happened?
I just got a call randomly. Sorry, guys. I don't know if I want to get into.
Did Cary just glitch out? What?
No, that was
welcome to the Matrix.
I was like, what? He just stopped. You need to rewind him up.
No, sorry, guys. No, I don't really want to do local car. I might do some, but I like the POV buyer stuff personally. Okay. But yeah, I could see that for getting rid of stuff like once a year or twice a year, though. I get what you're saying.
What about you, Tim? Have you thought about actually taking them up?
I want to do it 1,000%. It's just that You know me. I'm the type of person where it's like, if I'm gonna do something, I gotta be like, it has to be like nice.
I'll go up
It's
to
gotta be
Chantilly
set.
with Tim, and then we'll share tables. There, I'll bring up some boxes.
No, I don't want to pay Chantilly prices, table prices. Hell no.
So
It's expensive as hell to rent a table at Chantilly. If you can even get it, there's a long wait list for Chantilly.
So, Cary, I actually thought about after I processed this collection, now I got a bunch of more slabs, some other stuff. So I got stuff to put in like a showcase. I'm like, maybe in the future, I'm not saying like right now or something like that, but maybe by the end of the year or beginning of next year, if I have a ton of merchandise, because I buy collections, I buy other things, where I might try to set up a card show and just try to move some stuff, see how it goes. I think
You would do really well too, especially with all the wax you have.
Yeah.
And then it would be good for promotion for No Bangers and for Dibdit Cards. And of course, your own, Rod picking and punching cards. As long as you don't punch anybody in the face. And
that'd be great for
for
advertisement.
On the cards part of it or the picking, but the punching, we've been meaning to talk to you. Chill out.
I just want to make just clear, if I do set up a card show, so Tim would be allowed to come shop my stand because I will negotiate. All right, just you know.
Oh, you're not gonna let that one down for a while.
I'm not. You just went on a rant, man. You were so passionate about not shopping at a thing. I'm like,
Tim's an influencer and he expects to be treated as such.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said. You like, listen, you think this hat's gonna pay for itself? No,
you guys should have stopped me as soon as I said this. I don't want this to come off the wrong way.
I did stop you. I give a full disclaimer. I was like, listen, it's going to come off wrong when you start your conversation like this, but you just kept going. You were fully committed.
Yeah, you were like, do you know who I am? I'm like, dude, chill out, Tim. You know who you are.
Off your hat, like, I'm losing hair over this right now. And then, it was just all downhill. All right, just.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you blacked out for a second there, bud.
Yeah, that's what happened. You literally blacked out. But Cary, if I do set up, I know you would want to come down and set up with me, or at least come and then you can just set up my table and then go shop the show and then come back and hang out.
No,
that's the one thing you have to do, though. You have to have somebody with you so that you can shop too.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. So that's very important. I mean,
that'd be awesome. Here's the thing. Here's the one guarantee if that happens. When he's out shopping, there's going to be some major discounts on the rod inventory. Oh my gosh, dude, you want some PSA 10s?
Well, first off,
dollars.
Cary doesn't like. So if you guys know, Cary does not like confrontation. So like, if you walk up the table, and just be very
come up really aggressive, asking for deals, and I won't know how to handle it.
The last one sold for $10. Fine, take it for $5.
Just take it, $5. I'm sorry.
Before the guy gets,
I didn't mean to offend you.
Yeah, so note to self: don't have Cary work my table. Got it.
Yeah,
all right.
Pretty true.
Let's talk about.
There's a reason I do this full time and don't work for people. I was not you know the story. I got fired from In-N-Out.
You get fired from a lot of places.
Yeah, and I was like 27 and graduated from college. So like I should have not been fired at that age. With 3 degrees, by the way.
Yes, you definitely should have been for being
not
fired.
A worker bee.
Well, you weren't just fired from In-N-Out, though. Where else were you fired?
No, that's all I'm going to speak of, though.
That's all you're going to speak of. There's a laundry list of places that you've been fired from.
That's the American arbitrage lore for the people who don't follow my other channel. But I have, my 20s was a time of not caring.
Yeah.
Just going to school.
Well, eBay has announced that it's in beta right now. They're offering to extend auctions in the last 2 minutes, and they're breaking out in the card market to try it out. What are you guys' thoughts on this? Do you think it's a good thing? You think it's a bad thing?
It won't make a big difference.
You don't think so? Really?
What difference is it going to make?
Doesn't it really mess up sniping, right? Like where people...
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
do you know how many times have you got a notification for an auction and then you're like, oh, 5 minutes ago, okay, and then you put your phone down like, oh, I got 5 minutes, and then like you go grab make a sandwich, you come back down, you're like, damn it, I missed the auction. That's happened to me hundreds of times over the years.
That's why I put my max bid in always.
You put your max bid in. Yeah, I used to.
Well, if you're disciplined,
yeah.
If you're disciplined, that's the way to do it for sure. I mean, I think it's going to be a good thing to get, exactly. Because if you were willing to pay, how many times have you lost an eBay auction and you see like kind of what the ending price is, and you're like, I would have paid more.
Yeah, a lot.
Hopefully, this will deter that, and meaning people overall will get more money on, or at least get what people are willing to pay for their cards.
Do you know how long it's going to extend for? Is it going to be a minute? Is it going to be 30 seconds?
Oh, shout out to Craig.
No, I thought it said any bids placed in the last 2 minutes. Then it gets extended.
Craig sent me a message about it.
Oh, did he? Okay.
He said, There could be big news coming to buying cards on eBay. They are getting ready to launch a new system where a bid in minutes will add 2 minutes to auction.
Add 2 minutes. Okay. I think it's good, man. I think it's a great thing because one is it could help a seller maximize their money on the items. Now, from a buying standpoint, it may hurt people that would just focus on that, were very disciplined, that wouldn't just try to snipe things all the time. So that's going to kind of go on the wayside. But at the same point in time, it allows those sellers to potentially, those buyers miss out, they still have a chance to bid on it. So I think it's a good thing.
You know what? You could really solve all your problems. Just
sell it to you. Sell it to you.
Dibditcards.com.
Oh yeah, Dibdit
Just sell it on there. That's a good thing.
No.
Time to ditch your whatnots, ditch your Macaris, ditch your everything else. Come to dibditcards.com.
Dip those card shops that don't give you discounts, right? Because Tim's not going to go there.
I give you discounts all day on dibditcards.com.
But speaking about discounts, guys, go check out our breaks on there. All the teams are up for auction. All the auctions start at $1. We're doing a football break tonight. Tim and Cary will be live before I go live for the football break, but you guys can go bid in your teams. Go warm up a little single buying beforehand from 7 to 9 Eastern Standard Time, and then stay for the card break after. See what kind of we've been pulling some heavy cards there over the last couple of weeks, so hopefully that continues there going forward.
Ooh,
Vintage Sports Flips. Oh yeah, they were before you guys. Dan and the Man and Vintage Sports Flips were before that. So
I'm just like a walking advertisement here.
Who's that one for?
You were warned. Oh, reseller leftovers.
Ah.
Is that their stickers? They got stickers. I didn't think they had sticker budget. We got bodega finds. There we go.
This is a coaster, actually. Shout out to the coasters. I love the coasters.
Yeah, you're a big fan of the coasters. It's very unique.
Coasters.
I like the
coasters are super underrated.
Useful. Yeah.
Like, I grew up around good furniture. So, you catch a nice backhand if you weren't using a coaster.
Touche.
So, I'm all about the coasters. I got coasters all over my room right here.
The real problem is when you have a really nice coaster, and then you have to put a coaster on top of the nice coaster so you don't mess up the nice coaster.
That's a thick coaster.
Oh, yeah.
That is.
That's a super thick one.
It's like a stone. Nice cork bottom.
Well, I think, speaking of bottom, I think we hit the bottom here tonight. So you guys have anything else you guys want to say right now? Any final words for the show?
I'm hearing things.
Perfect. End it.
Perfect ending right there. Well, Tim will be locked up next week, guys. So if you guys, make sure you guys turn in next week to see if Tim returns after going to the Temu Liver King, going to jail.
He's hearing things,
Joe
folks.
Rogan.
You heard it here
He's already
first.
out.
He's going to Lulu.
Yeah. So, Tim, any final words before?
Listen, I'm gonna give you guys a tip here, okay? Moving forward, do you guys really need both ears in your headphones?
No, but why not?
Why not?
And so you should take your headphone, okay, and run it through your shirt.
I normally do.
Out to your neck, so that you guys don't have these wires hanging off your face the entire time.
I'm gonna have it hanging because
Dude, are you giving style? Look at how you're dressed, bro. You got you got three wolves shouting at the moon. What is that? And then you've got who's worn? None of us have worn Hurley since 2007. I don't know what your outfit is. You come in here looking dapper, like I know you can. Then I'll listen.
I'm sick.
You're sick, all right. You're sick, all right, my friend. Do you have any final words to say before you just move on?
Shout out to the Spotifyers. I forgot about you guys. It took me an hour, 18 minutes to remember. But shout out to the Spotifyers.
They're going to be really pissed off that you forgot about them now. So
I love you.
Put
guys.
your
I want the Spotifyers to imagine the most ridiculous outfit ever. That's what Tim is wearing right now.
Spotifyers, make sure you guys come to YouTube so you can yell at Tim twice. Make sure you leave a comment. Let us know how much you hate Tim for forgetting about you. And then come to YouTube and then leave another comment about how much you hate Tim for forgetting about you. So I think it'd be good.
He didn't forget, though.
Yeah, kind of. He almost did.
I think he counts.
He's a chalk it up to being sick, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
Cary, any final words?
I just want to let you know that you guys are all wonderful. Thank you. If you're still here, you guys got problems. You guys should find some better things to do with your time.
Hashtag you got problems down below. So we know that you guys are here to the end. Show your commitment. Hashtag you have problems down below. All right, guys.
99 problems, but the podcast ain't one, right? Because it's a good thing.
Apparently
Right.
is one. You just told them
That's
that they are.
topical. That people are still quoting Jay-Z rap.
Yeah,
right?
if you guys if there's more than 2 people that drop that hashtag, I'll give you guys
A coaster?
game used what? Podcast
game used
worn
one
shirt?
touch. Game used
Game
one
used
touch.
There.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine the patches you could make with that shirt if you were putting them in cards, Tim?
This one
Just like
right
the
here.
that makes some sick patches, honestly.
I mean, look, this one, like this one right here, like just that right there.
Yeah, dude, I got like, yeah, dude, you get like that's awesome.
I mean, this is like
or the
this
wolf's
is what
eye.
all the kids are wearing these days. Though.
Is it single stitch?
No, it's double stitch.
Double stitch. All right, get your hands in. Let's go. Let's get this done with.
All right, no bangers on 3. 1, 2, 3. No
No
bangers.
Hope you guys did it.